Are filling in here at Frontier Field. The pageantry continues as the colors are presented. We'll be having the national anthem very shortly, but this is pregame ceremonies. A beautiful flag with the military personnel as we join Bailey Morrison for the national anthem. Anthem sung, the fireworks have gone off, the smoke is filtering its way out of the stadium, and welcome to the Frozen Frontier, sponsored by the Greater Rochester Area Honda Dealers and presented by Labatt. And we welcome all of our viewers watching on Time Warner in Rochester and Buffalo, as well as around the country and abroad on the NHL Network and Sportsnet. We welcome all of you here this evening, as we'll be having the ceremonial puck drop, but pageantry galore, Rick.
It definitely is. I'm looking out over the field here in the far right-hand corner. I can't tell if that's an 8 or an 18 for the degrees out there, but it's awful chilly up on the right-hand side there over by the compressor truck.
I can see that number. It says 18.
Yes, definitely so. As we're not talking about the sweaters here tonight, and I said Cleveland in the opening, and that was because of the Cleveland walking out and having had played against the original Cleveland Barons.
Well, it's awful hard not to call them Cleveland, because obviously they play right there the same place as the Cavs. In fact, it's the same ownership for the Cavs and the Lake Erie Monsters, and they decided to call themselves Lake Erie, and but it's still hard to not call them Cleveland.
Well, definitely is. And again, these two, I talked about these two teams doing battle the other night, and they've met each other each time so far here in Rochester. They meet 10 times this year. The first 5 are in Rochester. The next 5 are in Cleveland.
All right, we have Ted Black, the president of the Sabres, and Naomi Silver, I think she's president of the Rochester Red Wings, as they drop the puck, the ceremonial puck drop. Matt Ellis of the Amerks and Brian Lurk of the visiting Lake Erie Monsters for the ceremonial puck drop.
Well, definitely, as they get ready for this. Again, we talked about the ice conditions and that, and what can happen. We saw on the monitor earlier that they were doing after the Zamboni went out. They did a little ice repair.
And starting out in goal for the visiting Lake Erie Monsters is a 21-year-old from Winnipeg, Calvin Pickard, as he comes into this game with a 7-7-0-1 record, a 2.71 goals against average. And in goal for the Rochester Americans is Matt Hackett, as Hackett sees the nets once again tonight. 23-year-old out of London, Ontario, and he enters this game with a 6-7-1-2 record at 2.99 goals against average. Tonight's starting goalies brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee and donuts of the Rochester Americans.
Well, our referees tonight, Darcy Burchell and Keith Cavell, and Peter Fiola and Jeff Walker are our linesmen.
And the starters for the Lake Erie Monsters, beginning on defense, will be Matt Hunwick along with Michael Tam, and then the front line will be Paul Carey, Garrett Muirs, and Colin Smith. And up front for Rochester to begin the game on defense, Drew Bagnall along with Nick Tozzolino, and then up front we'll see the line of Colton Gillies, Joe Armia, and Matt Ellis. So there's your starters as they line up at center ice, and we're about to get underway. Matt Ellis stepping in for the draw for the Amerks against Smith as the puck is dropped. We're underway at the frozen frontier. It's dumped ahead, cleared into the Rochester zone again as a radio audience, at least that's to our right here in the first period, and cleared along the sideboards and brought away out to the blue line. Amherst can't escape. It's taken back and now pulled out to center ice. Put that on the right wing, a long shot in by Armia. That's deflected away and comes down in the corner boards and around behind the net. Chased after in the corner by the Monsters. Pulled out on the near side as Muir's unable to clear the zone. That's a long shot. He grabbed by Pickard, and he'll hold on for the face-off.
Again, he's just trying to get this the jitters out of the game here for each line before they get on the ice. You know, it's a different experience for all these guys, and there are some pregame jitters here, even though they've played a number of games. This is the 26th game for Rochester and the 25th for Lake Erie.
It's quite a mess at the top of the division. Just a point separating about the top 4 teams. The puck is cleared along the boards, out over the line, but knocked loose and recovered again. It's carried forward into the Emmerich zone. On the left wing side, moving in on goal, but unable to get a shot away. That's behind the net, coming out of the boards and a feed in front again. Hackett was screened in front by Wyman, but the puck is dumped around behind the net. Chased back, the Amherst getting a hold of it. As it's dropped along the sideboard, shoveled off the wall, up the center ice by Larson. Unrecovered again by the Monsters. Turning back for it. Out in front is Lurd. Drops it back in his own zone. A long pass up the right wing to the Rochester blue line. Amherst taken away and a feed forward. That is in the Monster zone. Out in front, but knocked away. Amherst unable to get a shot away. As moving in on a Veroni, and it's down to the Rochester zone. Here to side. As Phil Veroni spins, but that one knocked away. Long shot in off the stick of Hackett. Comes down wide. In the corner to dig it loose is Over, laying it back to the left point. A shot in front. That's backhanded away and out the center ice. Here come the Amherst 2-on-2. In on the left wing side, but unable to get a hold of it is Veroni. And it's cleared out of the far wing, but still kept in. Monsters controlling. We're just getting underway. We've played short of 2 minutes in this game. A no score. On the right side to Over. Long shot in, booted away, and carried off by the Amherst. Cleared along the wall out of the zone. Face back. Here's Baggio. And on the other side, a pass up the left wing board. Just knocked down. Schaller trying to get loose. Still in skates and now cleared into the Rochester zone, and it's whistled down. As we'll have a stoppage of play back out at center ice. The gloves have been dropped. It is Hurd against Frederick Waugh. Waugh, the much smaller, coming through with the right hand. Hurd, he is trying to protect himself, shooting the left jab. Waugh is trying to cover up and come back with a big right hand again, looking for the uppercut. Hurd and Waugh. There's Waugh with an uppercut. He's stunned. Hurd, and they go down. And Freddie Waugh, again, much smaller, but he got in some pretty good shots.
Well, Frederick Waugh, son of famed goaltender Patrick Waugh, who's not known for his fisticuffs. Definitely at 5'10", 168, taking on Mitchell Hurd, 6', 175. I think he got the better of him there. Scott Metcalf called that one right, as you're going to see here, out to the neutral, right near the neutral zone. The ice, the gloves come off. These two already got it worked out. It's off camera right now, but now they start coming in, and Waugh gets the sweater up over the head. He keeps pulling them. You can see a couple of left jabs with that hand that's got a hold of it. And eventually Hurd's sweater gets up over, and then Waugh starts to feed him the right. But Waugh tries to keep his distance as he definitely shows up 5'10". He's not going to take any back seats for anyone.
Even on penalties, and I don't know if that maybe is some payback for what happened a couple of games ago when Hurd sucker punched the defenseman Rasmus Ristolainen, who has been out, has not played since that night.
Yeah, he was out there suffering, whatever the issues are, but he's out right now.
Back to the line of Ellis at center. Gillies on the left side as teams are at full strength. And it's shot behind the Amherst net. Cleared around the boards. That's good on the left wing side at the point. Long shot in wide. And chased back by the Amherst. In the corners they tie up, reaching in and spinning on Torino as the puck slipped behind the net back around the near board. That's dropped off in the corner, spun behind. Tussolino chasing it down. Clears it along the right wing side. That's through and all the way down. No icing. Waved off. Out of his net, Pickard plays to the side, but is blocked into the side of the net, almost stuffed in. And the backboards, Gillies behind the net for Ellis. Turns it back at the left point where it's kept in. Runs into Duke on the right side. Long shot in by Ruino behind the net. Blocked off of the backboards, ends up to the corner. This is still to Pickard's right, and the Amherst trying to dig it out. From behind the net. On the backboards and turning it behind. Pulled away on the far side. As out in front, Larson couldn't reach it. Spins around now on the right wing board. Return pass in front. Shot in, but blocked away. And it comes down behind. Cleared around the wall, and it is now carried off into the corner. Hammers trying to get a hold of it. Gillies moving in. Swept away in the sideboards. Hands pulled up, kept in, spin around, and a dribbler in on goal, but knocked aside. The Hammers do recover the puck. Goes into it, pinching down from the left point. Carries it off in the corner. As he turns there, looking for the pass on in front. Still draws it off of the backboards. In front, and a shot in. And when they score! Out in front, there is Ellis. Takes the shot, hits the lower corner on the wide side, just under the glove of Pickard. Again, the Hammers score first here tonight.
Well, definitely a big goal here. Lots of pressure inside the Lake Erie zone. They don't let him out, and they kept pressure down low, kept feeding the puck out. Matt Ellis backs up off the goal line and gets the pass out. No mistake on this one as he puts it in the low side. You're going to see it right here. You can see the play in behind, the pass out. Matt Ellis right there inside. He makes no mistake to bury that one and put Rochester up 1-0. Again, you can working the puck in behind. This is where Rochester has to do it. Ellis backs off that goal line.
Yeah, the Hammers seem to really love scoring the first goal these days, as they have now scored the first goal of the game the last 6 straight games and 7 of the last 8. Puck is in the zone. That's whistled down, and stoppage of play. 16:08 to go in the first period. The Hammers have a 1-0 lead.
Now, Matt Ellis definitely, as he said, as the team captain, helped get his team going here with that early goal. Last night it was Tardup, or the other night it was Tardup against Lake Erie. Now it's Ellis. 2 veteran players getting their teams off on the right foot.
Turned back in the zone, cleared by Beaupre out to center ice. As that along the far boards is into the Rochester zone, breaking for the net. Is over out in front. His one-time shot is blocked away and carried around behind by the Hammers. Stood up there is Larson. The puck in the corner is reversed behind the net, and Hammers in their own zone was trying to get out of trouble here. Turned along the side boards. And, you know, the Hammers, Rick, have been scoring the first goal a lot, but they continually allow the opposition to get back in. Last game, fortunately, they were able to come out with a win.
They definitely had. They had a 2-goal lead twice. And we got a big break.
In on goal, and it's up in a tip, but blocked away by Pickard. Off with it again. Along the left wing side, down for the point. And is, by the way, I think there was Porter that tried that stuff in. And the puck pulled on the boards is in the air and all the way down to the Rochester blue line. Backward go the Hammers. Then along the side boards by Veroni to center ice. Knocked loose, and the loose puck recovered by the Monsters. Not taken right back, the Hammers have it. Bagnall in his own zone. Drops it off. Turned forward by Tuzolino. He'll work the right wing side to the red line and a long dump-in shot. Down behind that on the backboard, pulled away by Clark, one of the newer signed players by the Monsters, and the puck is now slipped in around behind the Rochester net. Drop there, Hackett backhands it in the corner for Tuzolino. Out to the point, but not out. Long shot in, that's wide, and it comes off of the boards, and the Hammers able to clear the zone. Head to center ice, almost skipping through was Baroni, but his skates ended up out from under him. He went down, and it's recovered by the Monsters. Shot into the Rochester zone. Hackett will clear it aside. And along the boards, over the line to center right. Knocked down and returned in the Rochester zone. Hammers back for it with a 1-0 lead. Hammers having scored. Matt Ellis, the captain of the Hammers, for the goal. That's all the way down again and chased after him behind the Lake Erie net. On the backboard, Tam is tied up. As they have it in skates. Watching on in behind the net. As the puck in the backboard is drawn out in front, stuff in attempt, and there's a shot. But that's deflected out of play. On that shot taken by Scheller. So a stoppage here as the puck is out of play. 14 minutes to go in the first period and a 1-0 Rochester lead.
You can see here the attack going on, but Porter going in there quickly, trying to make something happen. He comes over. Puck just gets up on its end. You heard me talk about good luck. And the puck bouncing around. Look at that puck bouncing, and it's still rolling. Wasn't come down. Porter just couldn't get a handle on it. Had he done that, I think he would have had it around the pad for number 2.
Play picks up again in the Lake Erie zone. The puck out to center ice is dumped all the way down, and this will be an icing call, bringing the face-off once again back into the Lake Erie end of the rink. Agazino chasing. And watching on is J.T. Wyman.
Now we're just waiting for our point streak to our AHL site to update so we can get the official scoring on that goal, the assists on it.
Joe Armia lining up for the face-off is stepping in once again is Ellis as the puck is pulled to the corner boards. Gilly's backhander across the goal mouth. And nobody there for the Hammers. Pulled away on the near side by Wyman, able to slip it out to center ice. That's batted loose, and the Hammers recover the puck. At the blue line, but bounces loose, and now taken back by the Hammers. Ruido up the right wing side, long feed forward. But knocked away, and the Monsters will turn it the other way. To the Rochester blue line, the Amex have it. And on the near side, Jerome Gauthier-Leduc. Dumping it down, Lake Erie zone with the Monsters feed at the center ice, and it's chased back by the Amex. Turning out in front of the net, and a pass up the left wing side, but spinning, unable to get away. As Sunder, it's in the zone along the near north Armia. Now at the side of the net, and off the left pad, and Packard comes down behind. In the corner, cleared along the wall, and now slipped out of the zone to center ice. Taken back and shot in. And it's up and out of play. So as we have 13:01 to go here in period number 1, as you see the Monsters in their throwback jerseys enjoying the outdoor event here at the Frozen Frontier. 1-0 Amex. This is the Amex Broadcast Network. Also watching on is Armia. And the puck is pulled around and in behind the net. Tied up Schumacher in the backboards for the Monsters. Somebody takes a run right there, and Armia missed, and he steps away with the puck. Out the center ice, brought forward. As that is pulled away once again, the Monsters have it. On to the Rochester zone. Smith turns, trying to get a shot away. But he's tied up, and the loose puck is carried away. Out the center ice, up the left wing, Gillies. Not too far for him. Recovered again by the Monsters, and as they turn and dump it in behind the Amex net. Shot by Hackett around the boards. And out to the blue line area, still spun in the zone, and then flipped high in the air, coming down at center ice. Taken away, Rochester zone, turned to center ice again. Just out of the reach of Tardif, coming now stepping up on it. It's Larson with a long shot, and blocked away by Pickard. High in the air, comes down, and it's still in the zone, but now carried away to center ice. And Lake Erie will move it in the Rochester zone. This will be all the way in to the side of the Amex down and backboard. Go to the Amex, the whistle stops play. Stoppage of play here, a 1-0 lead for the Rochester Americans over the visiting Lake Erie Monsters here at the Frozen Frontier. And this is the Amex Broadcast Network.
Now, 2 power play goals have put Lake Erie up on top 2-1 here with 8:07 remaining. With Rochester coming right back, trying to get a scoring chance here. Shot coming in, and Pickard grabs that one. 21-year-old Calvin Pickard from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Answers the call.
Mike Zigomanis right in his face, but couldn't get a hold of it. Now he's turned back in the zone. Spinning around, Carl Stollery out of Camrose, Alberta. Head to center ice and to the Rochester blue line. Taken by Weidman, able to backhand it in. That around behind the Amherst back toward Gauthier-Leduc again. Spins it off in the far corner. Ruido chasing, but doesn't get to it. That's kept in by the Monsters. Dropped off of the backboards, and Ruido will cycle it behind for Gauthier-Leduc. Turns it along the near side. Feeds up the wall, but spinning back in the zone. And coming away now is Phil Veronic. Works his way to center ice and ahead on the left wing side. In over the blue line. Trying to feed in front, but blocked away coming down the far corner. As it spins the corner boards and pass on in front, but blocked away. Taken once again by Zigomanis. Turns, cycles it behind the net. Veroni runs into a body and goes down. The loose puck is carried away. On behind the net, Clark will bring it forward. He's got a little history under his belt. That's, 17th year. Puck behind the Amex net, turn around the wall. That dropped back again by Porter. In behind the net for Tuzolino, and off on the near side, it's taken again and shoveled up the left wing. To the blue line, but not out. Blocked ahead. Now it's over the line to center ice as they feed forward. And it's out of reach and all the way down. Pickard draws it behind his net. Monsters have it. Cleared around the near wing. We're down to 6:45 to go in period number 1. And it's a 2-1 lead for the Monsters. Got around the boards, ahead to center ice, slip forward, and out of the reach of Porter. But it is hammered in. Porter will chase. In behind the net, Lurg back, draws it off in the corner, spun behind once again. To the other side as they play catch in behind the net. Pass of the slot brought forward. Here come the Monsters on the attack, ahead on the right wing, and it's in the Rochester zone. Turning back for it, Bagnall. Down behind his net, tied up by Lurg, and it's cycled in behind for Tuzolino. He'll cycle it around the left wing boards. Spun out to center ice. Ahead on the right wing, in over the line, but stumbling and going down, but getting back up Tardif. Backhands it behind the net, all the way around the near side. Down for the left point, blocked by Scheller behind the net. To the other wing once again. Spun ahead and out over the line to center ice. Hammers recover it. Turning in the sideboards, trying to get away. And it's taken and dumped in by Catanacci, and in the corner, now from behind the net, it'll be carried away. On the wing and shot down the Rochester zone, back goes Ruido. Being chased, double teamed almost, knocked away, the Amex have it again. Feed ahead on the right wing, out of reach and back for it, it's recovered by the Monsters. Spun off on the near side, up the right wing. Long feed forward by Tam is through everybody in down. And the Amherst backboard. Turned the backboard for Weedle trying to get away. Cleared around the wall. And a feed up the slot is brought forward by the Amherst. Working wide the right side in the zone. Out front, quick shot, he knocked down. That one squirts wide. Backhander. The net is knocked off. His play continues. Not the whistle now will stop play, but the net had been knocked off, and so the Amherst couldn't get a hold of it. Well, we have a 2-1 score as the Lake Erie Monsters have come back with a pair of power play goals to take the lead. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. Now behind his net, he'll reverse it in the near corner after McKenzie. To the point, but not out. Still blocked and kept in, and ends up in the corner once again. As they spin there, puck in skates, pulled out of the sideboard, slipped to the slot, and ahead to center ice is Armia. 1-on-3. Armia by himself trying to catch up on the play. As he turns around the sideboards, here's Zigomanis out top of a one-time shot, but knocked down in front, and the loose puck is slipped over the line to center ice. Amherst have it, pulled right back in, and recovered by Lauritsen in his own zone, and now sends it up the wall out of the zone. Over at center ice, cross-rink. Here come the Monsters, entering the zone, weaving his way top of the slot, picked away, and off the stick of Cheek, and now out to center ice. Amherst after it, getting tied up in front of the player benches, but pulled away, the Amherst have it. Had to slow up at a man in the zone. Now it's dumped in and chased after the corner by Sheldon. Centers it across, and behind the net, far point kept in again. Dumped in behind. Shotter on the backboard, reaching in. As it's pulled out to the left point area, still kept in by Bagno, and now it's over the line. And the Amherst dump it back in. Evidently did not come out over the line. As they crash to the corner boards, puck is underneath skates and trying to dig it loose. And behind, Waugh sends it behind the other side. Back at the right point, kept in. Long shot from there, knocked down. And the rebound pulled aside is over the line to center ice. Back with the Amherst with a minute to go in the period. Shot in again. Turning back for it around behind the net. Carried away by Stollery. Long pass up the right wing, and it's then dumped the rest of the way down. Back for the Amherst. Down behind his net, taken by McKenzie. Out the right side, headbands it up the right wing boards. Slipped in over the line, trying to get loose. Chasing after the sideboards as Larson is back at the point, gets in. Larson again able to backhand it in behind the net. Out off of the backboards, in behind. On to the corner and spun out on the near side, but still kept in at the left point. Long shot in, dribbles toward the net, knocked down and comes down behind. Cardiff tried to get a hold of it. Back at the point, moving in. A shot across the goal mouth. Knocked down in front. Loose puck is swept aside. Now for the point. Moving in on it, kept in, and it's dumped to the corner boards. Cardiff will then bring it out top to the left point. Long shot from there. Hits something. It's knocked away. And here come the Monsters. 2-on-1. Pulled in over the line to Wyman. Takes a shot. Kick save. Hackett. And the rebound pops up in the air. Comes down behind as the buzzer sounds. And that ends the first period of play. Here we go now as the Amherst will shoot to the net to our right. Ellis stepping in, wins the draw. And it's cleared forward into the, now along the center ice area. Now turned back in behind the Rochester net. And top of the backboards, they crash in behind. The puck comes down and stepping up for it is Tuzolino. Able to slide along the boards and out to center ice. Shot in. After Armia in the corner. That's behind the net as they tie up with the backboards. It ends up on the other side. Long feet on top. Ellis pulls it down, keeps it in. Shot wide of the net, comes down behind again. On the backboards, reaching in. As Ellis couldn't reach it. Cleared along the boards and now brought forward by the Monsters to center ice. Dumped away. That carried in over the line. Ahead of the play. Carries offside, so the whistle stops play, and we'll have a face-off coming up at the Rochester line. Just getting started in the second period, and a one-goal lead for the Monsters.
Well, again, they get up there on that rush and, trying to hang on to that puck a little bit, and you chop it over to the guy next to you, and he may be a couple inches behind you, throws yourself offside.
As the puck dropped, taken by the Amherst, Weedle giving it off. And slipped it on the boards and down to the Lake Erie blue line, trying to pull it away. Larson gets tied up with the sideboards, and that is drawn ahead into the Rochester zone, and turning back for it once again goes Ruedel. He's spun out and taken down, and the Monsters up with the puck. Agazino behind the net. Out in front, tried to jam it. That's another shot in. That's knocked down. They hack away on the side of the net. Hackett on his knees has it. Now it's poked loose and behind the net and recovered. Cleared around the wall, but still not out. Down for the point. Stoller with the shot in, tipped wide. And finally, the Amherst are able to bring it away. Cleared high in the air to center ice. Bouncing away from Tardif, chasing after it. As he in the forecheck, chasing after by Stollery. Stollery in behind the net, trying to escape, and he'll cycle it around the left wing side. Over the line, Agazino's wiped up the sideboards by Porter, and the Amherst chase it back. Getting to it around behind the net. It'll be brought away. Cleared right Crawford all the way through. Ahead to the far blue line. Into his own pass to Zigomanis with a shot off the shoulder. Pickard comes down wide and behind. Spun around behind the net. Head of the backboard. Zigomanis turning it behind once again. They'll try and bring it out the near wing. Had this game-winning goal when these two teams met 2 nights ago. Zigomanis behind the net in the other corner. Now a penalty coming up to the Monsters. Tripped up and taken down is Zigomanis, and the whistle stops play. And it's going to be a holding penalty coming up to Lake Erie.
Well, Zigomanis using that body to protect that puck out there, and Rochester's power play was 3rd the other night. They've dropped the 5th, but they're still in the top 5, and they're going to be facing the 10th best penalty killing unit in the AHL as the faceoff remains in the end zone to the right of Calvin Pickard. What you're going to see here as they work that puck around, Mike Zigomanis' arm gets around, and he's trying to get away, and he finally does, but he hangs on to it and just works it back and forth till he draws the penalty.
So Rochester's first power play opportunity. Trailing 2-1. Drawn back at the point. Down to the other side. One-time shot. It dribbles off a stick, and the shot coming from Crawford. So held on to.
They work the puck off to the sideboards, and the puck just winds up dribbling towards Pickard, and he hangs on to it, so the faceoff will slip to the other side, to the left of him, and still in the Lake Erie zone.
Emmerich power play brought to you by AT&T. It's pulled back at the right point and kept in. That shot in, but wide, comes down behind. Actually, Pickard, I don't think he knew where the puck was. He lost sight of it. In the corner boards and around to the point again. Hacked at, dumped behind the net. The other corner, chased after, Tardif getting to it. That pops up in the air. Porter reaching in, comes to the slot, and now carried away by Lake Erie. Pass on the right side. Carried it over the line by Hunwick, able to dump it in behind the Rochester net. Turning backward, go to the Emmerichs. That's almost taken away, but escaping is Crawford. He'll bring it ahead. Shovels it forward to center ice for Veroni. Picks up speed as he enters his zone. Then he runs into a body and the puck rolls loose. And Smith will turn it. Shoots it to center ice. Emmerichs take it right back again. Spin around in front of the player bench. Nifty move by Ruedel, but can't get away. And it rolls out to center ice. Emmerichs have it. Crawford feed forward. Veroni takes it. Drops it off. Turning, trying to get away. Zigomanis pulls it in over the line, but that's knocked away. And take it again and shot in. On the backboards comes loose. Veroni's pass off a leg. Comes out top of the slot, kept in. Turning his Gillies, gets a shot away, but that's wide. And pulled out with the sideboards. And finally dumped away and down ice again by the Monsters.
Now Rochester looking for some flow on this power play. They're trying to get something going from the middle zone, and a lot of guys are standing still. They need flow like they have right now.
Half a minute to go in the power play. Army up the right side. That's pulled away off his stick and cleared out of the zone. Backward go the Emmerichs once again. Down behind the net, Hackett shovels a backhander into the corner, and it'll be brought away by the Emmerichs. Working up ice wide on the right side. Gillies over the blue line. Turns on the near side, spins it behind the net, but the other corner is recovered. Taken away from Clark. Throwing on top, the Emmerichs keep it in. Moving in, got hit it in with a shot knocked down in front of that's knocked away. And then cleared the length of the ice. Back for the Emmerichs. As the penalty expires, McKenzie has it in behind his own net. It's still 2-1 for the Monsters, as the Emmerichs go for 1 on the power play. Turned into the Lake Erie zone around behind the net as they get all tied up in the backboards and pulled away by Hunwick. Monsters have it, of course. The Lake Erie Monsters top farm team of the Colorado Avalanche. Dumped in the Rochester zone and turning back for it. McKenzie rips it around the boards and out on the wing, but not out. Shot behind the Emmerichs net. To the other side, of course, Rochester Americans top farm team of the Buffalo Sabres. And the puck played along the boards is still kept in. To the corner, spun back at the point. Not out, as it's jammed up in the sideboards, and now it's stripped away, but out of play. So the play is whistled down as we have a stoppage here, 15-19 to go in the second period, and still a 2-1 lead for the Lake Erie Monsters.
Now Rochester trying to become a little more aggressive. They started out the first period, the aggressors, and created a lot of opportunities and took the early lead. But then 2 goals kind of backed them up a little bit, and now they're trying to get some aggression going again so they can continue to take the play to Lake Erie, but Lake Erie's not giving up.
Zigomanis for the drop, but that's kept in by the Monsters. And in the left wing corner, pulled away by Smith. He'll cycle it back in the corner again. Dropped off of the backboards as they bump, and finally it's pulled away, and up ice comes for Riedel. To the red line. He's been on quite a tear lately. A long shot in, but that's grabbed and held onto by goaltender Pickard for the faceoff.
Well, Pickard not venturing too far out of his blue paint at all as he takes this shot off the right wing side and just hangs on to it. make sure there's no rebound there, as that's always dangerous to a goaltender, especially in a cold environment such as this. But you're going to see coming down the right side, they just get the puck to the net, trying to get some traffic there. Guys are looking for that puck. Zigoman is coming in a little higher in the slot, but there's nothing there as Sunder heads there too.
That's cleared high in the air and down. Back go the Amerks. Trailing 2-1. We've played just over 5 minutes of the second period. Spun around the boards, but not out. Pops up in the air. As the puck comes out of the sideboards once again, is finally out to center. No, still kept in. Working in on the left wing, Agazino with a shot. That went bouncing on in front. Loose puck in front of the net and covered up and brought away by Rochester. Head to center ice. Hard of giving it off, continuing on over the line, but taken away in the other turn and out of the Rochester zone. In on the left wing, Agazino shoots it in wide of the net. He has 2 assists in the game already, assisted on both the goals. And it's cleared behind the Amistad, but the whistle has stopped play. Out at center ice, players getting tied up, was taken down, was Larson.
It's going to be a holding call, and looks like Lurg is getting the gate here. 2 minutes, the captain for the Lake Erie Monsters, as he picks up his stick, and no, he's not. It's actually Rochester getting the call. We're going to see a replay here right at it as it happens here. Right at center ice, you can see just reaching in. Yep, there it is. Reaching in. He's got, Lurg should have one for holding on to his arm. He locked down against him, and then he knocked Rochester player down, but Rochester getting the only call here. So Lake Erie having their 3rd power play. They're 2 for 2 back in the first period.
So, certainly we've talked about before, the Amers don't want to take penalties in this one against Lake Erie.
Well, again, they've got to look at this and have their head on a swivel inside their own zone and pick up the men in behind in that. You know, it's very positional as they move that puck around for that back door.
This Amerks penalty kill is brought to you by Remax. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax.
Face off back into the Lake Erie zone.
Romney stepping into the face-off against Smith. And it's taken from the draw by the Monsters. Side of his net now carried forward by Stollery. On the right wing side, continuing forward. Pass back on the left wing, off the stick of Mueller from behind the Amherst net. Hackett is able to flip it off into the corner. As they tie up on the sideboards, it's out top, still kept in by Smith. Throws it to the right point and kept in. As the Monsters setting up here on the power play. Pulled out in front, backdoor side, but that is deflected away up into the mesh and on a play over the glass.
Now what happened, that low guy on that pass, that got the cross pass there, Smith, and they went up over his stick and into the netting, but you know, they got to make sure that back door is closed, cut that pass off, and be a little closer to him. You can see the defender out here. That's when the defenseman has to come down to help out a little bit more so, and so does the forward. They just play as a little tighter unit, but they're coming across the back, goes over the stick of Smith and into the netting up high. Great camera work there to see that.
And an excellent job by McKenzie. As he gets a piece of it, that's hacked along the sideboards, but then popped in behind the Amherst. Bagnall will dig it out. Up the wall, jammed along the wall and out of the zone. But that's out of play, so another whistle, another stoppage of play. Actually, the puck's still there. Must have hit somebody on the bench.
The puck hit somebody on the Rochester bench. And even though Rochester's killing the penalty, it's going to come back into the Rochester zone to the left of Hackett.
Chad Ruedel is really on a roll. A 4-game point string coming into tonight. A goal and 4 assists. Last 8 games has 7 points. As he's turning it into a pretty good season right now.
Well, definitely. He's been a nice addition to this team here. He good skater, good with the puck.
And so much is now resting on his shoulders with Craig McNabb being recalled by the Sabres. Cleared back at the point and kept in. Along the right wing side, still in the power play. As it's dumped down the corner and Lurg chasing after it. Got to watch for Holber. He seems to be the one that does most of the damage. He gets a hold of it out at center ice. Actually, that's Clark, isn't it? Up the right wing side and shot in around behind the Amherst net. Holber ordinarily playing the point on the power play. As the puck is through to center ice. Recovered by Clark, beginning to bring it forward. Brett Clark, 36-year-old from Saskatchewan. Played for the Minnesota Wild last year as the puck is jammed along the wall and all the way down. Back for it, the Monsters. Pulled along the boards as we're down to just over 20 seconds or so remaining in this power play. That went pop loose, coming out of the near boards and taken by the Anderson. Shot in again. After the Monsters ground behind. Big hit issued on the backboards as Hunwick is slammed up against the backboards. And the puck now is fed forward to the Rochester blue line. That's out of the zone, back in, and an offside whistle. So a nice check right there by the Amerks. As Trevor Cheeky looks on. He's one of the players that has previous experience in an outdoor game. Trevor Cheek. He was with Calgary in the Western League. As we see the hit issued right there by Matt Ellis. And the other Lake Erie players, as that was Waugh with the hit. The other Lake Erie players that have had previous outdoor experience. Paul Carey, 2 games with the Boston College, and Matt Hunwick, a game with the Boston Bruins. Well, Mike Zigomanis, the only Rochester player with outdoor experience, played with the Toronto Marlies in a game in Hamilton back in 2012. Back for it, the Amerks. Cleared along to center ice and all the way down by Gotcha-Duke in on goal. And now we're going to have a penalty coming up to Rochester as Larson in behind takes down Stollery going for the puck. And the Amerks, it looks like they're going to be short-handed once again. Already trailing 2-1 in this game. Another power play opportunity coming up for the Monsters, and this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Well, the Amerks will be short-handed once again. Larson in the penalty box, couple of minutes for holding. That's actually his 3rd minor penalty of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he was going to get the other way because the guy was holding him out. That didn't look like a hold to me, reaching around to him. I thought that not a very good call as Carl Stollery able to get around. He's blocking out Larson from getting to the puck, and that should have been more of an interference as far as my estimation goes. But I'm not the one with the stripes. I'm not the one with the whistle. Rochester has to kill their 4th power play here now for Lake Erie.
And the face-off to Hackett's left as the whistle stops play right off the hop here. And it's going to be a penalty coming up. Might be going the other way.
It is. It's a tripping call as the puck was won back, and it looks like Carey's going to be going to the gate as he gets 2 minutes here for tripping. As off the face-off was won by Lake Erie. Jumping through on the play, you can see, look at the stick got in there, and the feet came out, the arm went up right away, so that power play lasted all of 2 seconds. You know, it's damaging to the statistics, the percentages when you only get 2-second power play. But Rochester now play 4-on-4.
So Carey in the box. Each team a man short, a lot of skating room out there right now. As the puck pulled forward, the Amerks back for it. Turning away is Gotcha-Duke, works the left wing boards. Able to shovel the backhander in, then gets squeezed out on the sideboards by Agazino. As they move in, and on the backboards, trying to pull it loose and behind the net. And Maroney gets tied up, and that's drawn away out of the near side. Zigomanis chasing around behind the net. It's in the other corner. Played behind once again. Blocked around the boards, and now it's over the line and out to center ice. Head up the left wing, Agazino enters the Amerks zone. Took a shot but knocked down, gets another one. This one missed the short side, comes down behind the net. Zigomanis drawing it off of the backboard. Ruido takes it, sends it the other way around the near side for Gotcha-Duke, but can't clear. Still kept in, pulled out of the corner. On the near side, spinning back out top, Lurk. Top of the slot, pass off on the left wing side for Stollery. Shot across the goal mouth on the other side. From the other wing, they score. A shot in from the right point as it's ripped up under the crossbar. Now it's a 3-1 lead for the Monsters.
Well, coming down that right wing side, coming in from that point is Muirs, and he one-times it up over the shoulder. Looked like of Hackett, but the first shot by Stollery from the left side missed the net, went around the far side, and just walking into it was Muirs, and he just teed that one up. As Hackett looks disgusted, he's looking up the monitor to see if he can watch it. But up over the short side, over the glove of Matt Hackett as he comes across. You can see just walking in that, and he makes no mistake of it. Lake Erie now up 3-1.
I think Muirs came right off the bench, breaking for the net, and he got the puck right on his stick. So you talked in the pregame about the lucky breaks or whatever, and that certainly they made their own break right there.
Absolutely.
Rod Ford out to center ice of the Amerks for the first time, trailing by 2. That rolls down to the Rochester zone, drawn away, but shot in, knocked down again, and the puck is along the sideboards, recovered by the Monsters at center ice. On feed forward. On the left wing and a shot in. That one is high, but grabbed by Hackett, and he holds on. So we have now 10:28 to go in the second period. It's Lake Erie on top 3-1.
Well, Muirs gets his 3rd goal of the season there, and that made it 3-1 for Lake Erie, and the faceoff's going to be coming back into the Rochester zone to the right of Matt Hackett. Both teams still for 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds. Then Rochester will have a 2-second power play.
And the puck dropped. And still in behind the Rochester net. Carried off the backboards, but Ellis can't escape. Bagnall with it. As he's chased there, able to clear it away and out to center ice. All the way down. Down behind the net is the Monsters. Oh, there's a Body goes flying, and a penalty coming up to Rochester. This will be a trip against the Amerks as Porter came in with the leg sticking out a little too far.
I'd like to see this one because it looked like Porter tried to hit him with his shoulder, and he tried to dodge the check and put himself off balance in Lordsden, as you're going to see him come around from behind the net and coming in, and he just meets him. He doesn't stick his leg out. He just meets him. He just rides the one leg up between and hits him with the bumps him with the shoulder. And as far as that, again, that's a tripping call. So now it's going to be 4-on-3 for 3 seconds or 7 seconds, I should say 4 seconds, and then it's going to be 4-on-4 again for 2 seconds, and then it'll be another power play for the Lake Erie Monsters.
Puck drop. Behind the net. Ripped around the boards as it's still kept in the zone. And to the left wing side. Top as we're getting a few players exiting the penalty boxes now. Is back at the left point. That one knocked down. And so the Monsters will have to set it up again.
Rochester didn't even get their 2-second power play.
Turned ahead. In over the Rochester line. Stopped to the right wing side. Spun off in the corner and pulled back on the far boards again. That's over the line out to center ice. Recovered by the Monsters. Lake Erie has scored 3 unanswered goals. The Amerks picked up the first goal of the game, but the next 3 scored by the Monsters. 2 of those on the power play. And the other one, the one that was recently scored, was as each team was a man short. Turned ahead, out at the point, kept in. Out on top again, Lake Erie on the power play. Through to the left point for Alberg. Drops it on top. The shot knocked down. That went out the other side. Picked up again. Turned on top. Hunwick giving it off on the right side. Lurg into the corner. Looking to return pass. That went off. A stick is in the air. And over the line to center ice. Back for it go the Monsters. Getting to it is Hunwick. Deep forward up the left wing side, but it's turned back in the zone. Spinning through in front of his net. Muirers will bring it away. And a long pass on the left wing is shoveled in behind the Amerks net. As they crash to the backboards. Punching on. Ellis for the Amerks. Poked at it. Back in the corner once again. Rochester still short-handed. In behind the net. Feet out in front. And the Amerks will pick it up and bring it away. Ellis off ice with Waugh. Shoots it in on goal. That one poked wide by Pickard coming down the corner. Reaching in for it, but drawn away in the side boards. And getting hold of it. Still kept in. Slammed around behind the Lake Erie net. Back go the Monsters. Amerks penalty with just a few seconds remaining in it. Carried forward up the left wing side. In all the new one-hander back out in front, but blocked away. The puck coming down the corner. The Amerks are at full strength. On the near wing into the corner. After it pulled out in front of the shot taken by Smith this wide. That's chipped up but not out. Still kept in by Lake Erie. They're winning the races for the puck right now. As the puck drawn back in front of the net, and it's cleared along the right wing side, through and down ice. After into the sideboards, Porter, but picked off his stick and brought away by the Monsters. Dumped in wide the Amerks net. Getting to it in the backboards. It's Cheek in the near corner, turning around, left wing side, spins it back in the corner, and behind the net, carried away by Porter. Out the other side, up the left wing, and that one is past Tardif over the line. He's taken down and didn't even touch the puck. Looks like could have been an interference there. Tuzolino drops it back in front of his net to Ruedel. Turning in the corner, looking to get away. As he gets all tied up in the sideboards, it's poked along the wall, and this one over the line is out to center ice. Shot right back in, but a player there, and it's offside. Stoppage of play. 7:10 to go, but back up ice. We have a little discussion going on that's between a couple of players as they are separated by the officials.
Both pray for them.
All right, so it's a 2, make that 3-1 lead now for the Monsters over the Amerks as they've added another one here in the second period. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. A little bit of ice repair going on. Must have been a hole in the ice as they were filling that, and now play resumes. Again, we're at the Frozen Frontier Field in Rochester, New York, the home of the Rochester Red Wings AAA baseball team. And a great job they've done along with the Sabres and Amerks of putting a tremendous event together. And this is a full 10-day extravaganza, all kinds of things happening. And tomorrow it'll be a couple of games with RIT men's and women's team. Sunday, a lot of activity going on here as play resumes, and it's in the Rochester zone. The Monsters leading 3-1. Now just over 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Back for it, the Monsters at their own blue line. A feed up the right side. The Rochester blue line. Bagnall steps in the way of Maggio, and the loose puck carried away by Gillies. Throws it off. Here's Gauthier Leduc ahead on the right wing side. And bumped away is Armia as they tie up in front of the penalty boxes. Poked back in the Rochester zone. To Ruedel ahead on the left wing. That's through and all the way down. Now behind the monster net. Rochester scored the first goal of the game back at 3:36 in the first period, but the Monsters have come back and scored the next three, including a couple on the power play. Drop back. And on the left wing side, McKenzie, Crawford, and all the way down. Chasing back for it go the Monsters. And coming around the wing. And dropped in behind the net by Wyman, and after it, Hunwick, but the Amherst will get to it first. Dropped off in the corner board, Zigomanis. Pass top of the slot, bounced away, and reaching in, and kept him momentarily by Veroni, but couldn't control it. Shot down to the Rochester blue line, jammed aside again by Crawford to center ice. Throws it up the right wing, but out of the reach of Tardif and to the Rochester blue line. Head on the right wing side. In the zone, chasing after it, Zigomanis. Down behind the net, but that's turned back into the near corner. Played to the point, but still not. Is not out, kept in by the Amherst, spun toward the front, but knocked down, and now it's turned out on the boards, and that threw and down. So the Amherst back for it, as it looks like this will be an icing call. There's the whistle. 5:12 to go in the second period. 3-1 for the Monsters.
Rochester able to make a change here as it's a long way from their own zone to the bench. Faceoff comes back. Lake Erie has to stay with their players due to the icing rules. The team creating the infraction on icing cannot make the change, so Rochester gets fresh troops out here.
Now, you mentioned the weather, and especially breathing, playing a little bit on what might happen here tonight. I don't know about you, but I think the pace has slowed a little bit here, hasn't it?
I think it has drastically.
Top they scored. No, yes, now it is in the net. The Amherst have scored here. First indication was no. Next was yes. Then it was no again. And it's in the net. And the referee says yes, it's a goal.
I thought the first shot went in. It went in the blocker side low. But apparently it must have hit the post and bounced out. And able to put that in is Gauthier Leduc, it looks like, because he's the first one through the line, greeting his teammates. But we'll have to see this on the replay as the puck went to the net. I heard a ding. I thought it was in, but then the rebound came out. Gauthier Leduc on the side. You're going to see it here. It's in behind now. Leduc, there it is, sitting right there, and he puts it in. He shovels it in. I'll take 20 of those a year.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now it's a one-goal game again as the puck is dumped down in the Rochester zone. And for Gauthier Leduc, that's his second of the season.
Gauthier Leduc getting his second point here. He had assist on the first goal for Matt Ellis, and now he gets a goal here for 2 points tonight.
So, as the native of Quebec City, Quebec, Jerome Gauthier Leduc scores to put the Amherst on the board. It's now a one-goal game, 3-2. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network.
Get ready for...
Get your tickets for the Amherst Sabres alumni game Sunday at Frontier Field. That's right here at the box office or at FrozenFrontier2013.com. Star-studded roster, including Marty Biron, Rob Ray, Jody Gage, Rick Seelig, of course.
And many more. And you know what? The interesting thing is you talk about tradition between these two teams. A lot of those guys were Amherst before, too. So
yeah,
they can play for either side.
Well, it's an interesting makeup of the team. I think Jody Gage was actually the one that put some of the whole rosters together. And so I guess I don't know how he worked out on some of them. You know, like, for example, Rob Ray. Which team does he play for? Well, he spent, I guess, probably more time in Buffalo, didn't he?
Yes.
Now behind the Rochester net on the back boards. That one played behind, comes out in front. Slammed off in the corner as the Amherst will try and clear, but can't. Rochester has come back and moved to within a goal once again of the Monsters. That's along the sideboards, but shot in behind the Amherst net and turning back for it. Cleared along the sideboards, but not out. Still kept in. Now in the slot, and a shot dribbled in, but wide off the stick, comes down the far corner. Cleared along in the air to center ice. And the rolling puck carried forward over the line. Getting tied up and dropping at the point. A long shot in. Pickard makes a stop, and he holds on.
Flying in there was Drew Bagnall. Nice drop pass to him as they throw everybody in deep, and he walks in. I think he could have walked in a little more and taken a little more time on accuracy the shot, but he just walked in and teed it up. But you're going to see a nice play at the blue line here, and he just walks in, tees it up. Pickard sees it all the way. He's outside his blue paint. And a nice drop pass there for him as it's left there by Porter. And Bagnall's the benefactor, but unable to convert.
Again, in the zone, is still kept in. Long shot in, but knocked down in the slot and cleared along the wall out to center ice. Gauthier Leduc getting that Rochester goal. The assist going to Waugh and Schaller. Gauthier Leduc with a goal and an assist in the game. That's kept in the Rochester zone. Out with it over, throwing it out top, and a shot from there off the stick of Hackett, coming down to the corner. That pops up in the air and on the backboards, looking to dig it out. Guts into it, pass knocked down, but the Hammers get it to the blue line. Still not. Now it's out over the line, and here come the Hammers. Head and left wing side, Gillies in the corner, turns as he tries to spin away. Throws it in behind the net. Ellis on his front, tried to stuff into the backhand. His net is knocked off again. The whistle stops play. Well, just not getting much of a break right there.
Well, that was the net that they came out and did some repair on as Matt Ellis got that puck out in front, but by that time the net is off and the whistle gone. With 3:30 remaining, they replaced that net, the same one they did some work on in the first period, so it'd be interesting to see if they pay a little more attention to it in the intermission to make sure that one doesn't happen.
Well, the fans getting the wave going here in the Frontier Field Stadium. And maybe it's the warm-up they're getting going, right?
Definitely.
Puck cleared around the boards. It's over the line to center ice. It's actually turned out to be just a gorgeous evening, I think. Of course, we got the window closed right now, so can I say that or not?
I just told him to open the door and let some heat in from the backside.
There you go. Cleared along the boards. And that down to the Rochester blue line. Veroni drops it off for McKenzie. Throws it ahead of the right wing side. Zigomanis sends it the rest of the way down. As the wave is picking up here in the stands, so you can hear some of the noise at least out in front of us. And behind the net, there's over somewhere around 11,000 people in a sold-out house here for the Frozen Frontier. Turned around and feet out in front of the goal. They score! Veroni was there, able to slip it through. And the Ellis have come back and knotted this game at 3.
I was just thinking what we were watching on this shift is how this game started when Matt Ellis scored. It was containment, it was control, it was working the perimeter and then getting the puck to the net. And that's exactly what happened. They worked the puck up the boards, come back down the boards, put the puck to the net. Veroni standing there, he's the benefactor, gets his 6th goal of the season. As you're going to see the work along the side boards here. Look at spinning it, finally just getting it to the net. Veroni just tips it through the 5-hole on Calvin Pickard, and it's all tied up.
That centering pass coming from Crawford. Nice setup as the Hammers have come back and even this one up. It was looking kind of bleak for the Hammers for a while, but they're battling back here in the second period. That's in behind the Lake Erie net, drawn out of the sideboard, cycled back in the corner once again. Turning around, trying to get loose in behind, but spinning back in the corner. Feed out to the point is kept in. Long shot to Salina. That's knocked down, goes wide. Whistle to stop play.
Well, on that other goal by
it's a pushing going on across the way.
And again, we look at it.
Beaupre and Schaller having a few words.
Beaupre was involved in the last pushing and shoving that we had seen, but they all get in there, and we'll see if any penalties are called. Here's some whistles going.
I'm hearing a few too many whistles, I think.
Absolutely, as looking in, and after this one, as seeing what's going on, but nothing seems to be being called here. Nobody's heading towards the box. Well, the referee's backing up, but I'm not heading towards the box. That goal by Gauthier Leduc at 14:57. Waugh and Schaller getting the assists on that one, and that brought within 1. And then Veroni's goal. We'll get the assists on that one.
Crawford and Zigomanis.
Crawford and Zigomanis get that one. Get the assist, and it's all tied up with only 2:21 remaining. Faceoff will be brought outside the blue line as the linesman goes and checks that goal again.
So the puck is dropped. However, the whistle stops play. We're going to do it all over again. And I don't know, what do we have? We have indication of the referee. Oh, I see. He's saying, I thought he was calling a holding penalty. He's saying hold the clock for a second is what he's saying.
Okay.
Cleared in, still kept in the Lake Erie zone. And the boards back at the left point, kept in. Long shot from there. Knocked down. The Hammers can't get to the rebound. That's over the line. Taken and shot in again. Backboard Beaupre in the corner. Turns, pass up the slot. Slipped ahead on the left wing side. Lurch feed forward, batted away. And the Hammers recover it. Turned and shot in around behind the net by Tardif. And backboard go the Monsters. On the backboard, brought out in front. Beaupre long pass up the left wing. Locked away, and now it's center ice, turned into the Lake Erie zone, and back for it go the Monsters. We're down to 1:40 remaining in the second period. And behind the net, as the Monsters look to dig it out. Shot along the boards, high in the air and all the way down ice, and This one looks like it could be an icing call. Well, I have just a second here. I want to pass along best wishes to Terry Now, longtime youth hockey coach in the Rochester area, hospitalized. And Terry, we wish you the best. Get well soon, pal.
Now on that Veroni goal, Sunder got the second assist now. They've changed Jack Crawford from Sunder at 17:09.
Veroni? What was it?
Veroni from Crawford and Sunder.
Oh, instead of Zigomanis, okay. So it's 92 instead of 12, getting that assist. That got top kept in. And pulled ahead to center ice. In on goal, Hackett will smother it. He'll hold on for a face-off.
1:13 remaining, so Hackett makes no mistake as that puck comes in. You can see the amount of snow that's on that ice. And, you know, like in the first period, then when Rochester had all the pressure on, it wasn't until 10:34 that the first power play goal was scored, and then it seemed to be all of Lake Erie. Well, this period, it started out Lake Erie putting the press on Rochester, all the snow down there. Then they go down the other end where it's kind of clear, and Rochester scores 2 goals. But you can see the pass, the shot coming in, and having him talking to Lane. A nice size there. Agazino looking into his the American logo on that sweater.
Gillies is a big man.
Yes, he is.
Cleared ahead to center ice. That's stolen away. The Amerks have it. Shot in. Off the backboards and now turned to behind the net. We're down to just under a minute to go in the second period. It's an even up match here at the frozen frontier. The puck high in the air coming out at center ice. Turned along the boards on the near wing, but back to the Rochester blue line, where that slipped in and around behind the net of the corner. Pulled away by the Monsters off of the backboard, turning in behind. And trying to sprint away from the puck is Smith as he dishes it out in front, but the Amerks take it and slip it ahead in the air to center ice. Recovered again by the Monsters. Trying to break away, pulled it over the line. Veroni drops it back in the right point area. Now along the sideboards, Armia ended out in front, but no help there. It'll be pulled away and up ice. Here come the Monsters with 20 seconds to go in the period. Long shot in wide of the net. Back for go the Amerks. Behind his net, Bagnall takes a look up ice. 12 seconds to go in the period. Long feed through all the way down on goal. Out of his net, Pickard shoots it off on the near side. Shot in, grab by Pickard. He holds on. The shot coming from Zigomanis with just 5 seconds to go in the period.
Now, it's interesting as this period is going to wind down and probably end up being tied unless something happens off this faceoff. But we were talking about the what happens with the weather conditions, and it's a game-time call that if the weather conditions are in favor of one team, basically the win, you're going to see the shot here come. At the net, just tees one up and by Zigomanis and a quick save by Pickard. So the faceoff will stay there. They'll make a decision halfway through the third period. They'll switch ends if it's one lopsided one way or the other.
Yeah, the other thing we were talking about too is the puck is dropped, and that's going to be it for the period as it's behind the net. As we get lined up for the start of the third period, again, as we said, anybody's game. And there's Drew Bagnall, one of the alternate captains of the Amerks. Of course, the Moose waving the colors.
With all the shots being even, the score being even, it's going to be an interesting 20 minutes. Again, we're not out in the wind. Mind you, I don't see any heater in here, so we don't have it as bad as Mike and Brian and Lauren had it out there, but it's going to be an interesting 20 minutes here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a flutter in the flags out over the left field fence as we are underway now in the third period. Amerks again back to shooting in the net to our left, and it's Hackett in goal down to our right as they tie him in the corner, slipped along the boards, and spun out to center ice. Turning backboard, Tam knocks it aside for the Monsters to the Rochester blue line. In front of that, the Amerks have it, flipped high in the air and all the way down, and back for it go the Monsters. Lundwijk will cycle it off the left wing side, out of the zone. Amerks take, jam it right back in, clear the zone. The Monsters have it. Ahead on the right wing, down to the Rochester blue line, around behind the Amerks net, where that's chased down and carried away by Bagnall. Looks up the left wing side. Now he throws it ahead to center ice. That's off a stick, deflected all the way down. Porter chasing in the corner. Slams his man in the corner boards. Centering pass under in front, fanned on it. At the left wing side, goes to the shot. Rebound in front. It's poked aside and coming down the corner. Off the stick of goaltender Pickard. That tap kept in again. Porter drops it to the point to the other side for goaltender Duke. Moving down on the left wing side as he's bumped there. Reaching in, helping out. Porter will send it around to the right wing boards. At the point kept in. Shot it behind again. Off the back boards. They try and bring it out in front, but no lane. Played back in. It's intercepted, then cleared along the boards and down ice. Oh, a foot race forward. Ruedel get there first, beating Lurk to the puck. Behind the Amerks net, Ruedel And the backhander to the point. It's on over the line. Recovered by Lake Erie. Back in their own zone. Taken by Clark. As he looks it over, throws it up the right wing side to center ice. Enters the Amherst zone. And a shot, but that's knocked down. Comes down the corner once again. And behind the Amherst net as they tie up. And the puck pulled away. And it's along the left wing and now out over the line to center ice. Amherst with it will dump it in. Chasing after it, Zigomanis in the corner reaching in. Also after to help out, and Ferroni back at the right point kept in. Shot around behind the net. And it ends up in the corner, blocked down as the sideboards. Ferroni out in front, turns and his shot ripped it wide. Down from the left point, feeding on goal by Crawford. And diving on it is Pickard. He'll hold on for the faceoff.
Now they keep putting that puck to the net, trying to keep the pressure on. This is what Rochester has to do. They have to continue to contain and keep putting pressure on, and that means taking the body. Porter taking his man into the boards, looking for that loose puck. They both go in there as he takes Stollery right to the boards. This is the young effort you have to do, and they have to do it for 20 minutes to keep this team on their heels.
Face off in the Lake Erie zone to the right of Pickard.
Smith gets knocked out, and Mears will come in and take the draw for Lake Erie.
As it's pulled back at the point, long shot, but knocked out in front. Loose puck, but cleared aside. Now over the line to center ice. Knocked loose momentarily, and the Amherst up with it again. Schaller bringing it in on the right wing. She's chasing the corner, stood up there by Hunwick. Schaller still trying to one-hand a pass away. And pulled on the sideboards. Wall with a hit. And pulled around by Schaller on top. Gets a shot away, but tipped wide. Coming down the corners, Catanacci couldn't get a piece of it. And it's over the line and down to the Rochester blue line. Back for it go the Amherst. Quickly feeding up the left wing side again and over the line. Trying to escape is Catanacci, but it's blocked away. And now out to center ice. In the Rochester zone, Amherst D turning back to the puck and in behind the net. Taking by Glenn. He rammed up on the backboard. That's cleared around the far side, but not out. Blocked and still kept in. And it's recovered and brought away by the Amherst. Head to center ice. In over the blue line, but dropped off with the sideboards by Armia. Pass on the left wing. Spot on the front by Ellis. There's a loose puck. They score! Knocked down in front by Pickard. Gillies is there to find the rebound. Hammers it inside the post. And the Amherst have taken the lead.
This all starts, Armia comes up the ice. He made a phenomenal move to get inside and then dropped it off. But Colton Gillies gets his second goal of the season here. Rochester takes a 4-3 lead, and this is what they need to do on the rush. As you can see, the puck gets towards the net, hits the skate, and Gillies comes in, short side, upstairs, and Rochester now benefits by putting the puck to the net. We saw that happen earlier late in the second period when Veroni got his goal, putting the puck to the net, and Rochester does it again.
That's brought in over the line as the Amherst finally back on top. This is the first time they've led since they were up 1-0. And on the left wing, it's into the zone once again. Gillies reaching in, but pulled behind the net by Beaupre. Shoots it around the far side, and that's through and all the way down. Back for the Amherst. Drawn around behind the net. All the way to the blue line, and hit the center ice, but Amherst can't get a hold of it. Here come the Monsters again, turned in over the Rochester line, top of the slot, a shot, but knocked down. Comes loose again, and down to the point area. Is slipped out over the line and down ice by Tardif, and back for it go the Monsters. Getting to it around behind his net. Cheek will bring it away out the left side. Works his way to center ice. As they get tied up again, and the loose puck is recovered by the Amherst on the near boards. Wrist shot in, sticks off Pickard, cut out in front, but blocked away. As the Amherst never got a hold of it for the rebound, and that's all the way down. Icing is the call. So the Amherst now on top 4-3, as that is Gillies getting the goal. Ellis and Armia with the assist.
Again, big goal for Rochester momentum. That's one thing they can't do is sit back that shift right after the goal. It looked like Erie was starting to get a little momentum on him, but fortunately they got back the other way, and now the faceoff is back in the Lake Erie zone.
Give Armia 2 assists on the night. Ellis has a goal and an assist. As the puck again in the Lake Erie zone off of the corner. Ellis, of course, scored the first goal of the game and assists on that one, and now the puck is down to the Rochester blue line. Swept aside. As turned in the Rochester zone. Shots were even at 9 in the first period. Each team had 9 again in the second period, so each team had 18 through 2 periods. Very even in the shot totals. Cleared in around behind the Lake Erie net. That off in the corner, spun behind by Tam to the other side. And then living along the left wing side ahead to center ice. Smith brings it forward to the Rochester zone. He slowed up at the blue line. and looks like an offside.
I was wondering if they're going to call that because the guy that cut across him on the far side, as he stepped offside beforehand, and just a second delay there, but they ended up making the call, so the faceoff will come back outside the Rochester blue line right in front of their bench.
Bill Veroni lines up for the faceoff against Colin Smith. And the puck out to center ice. Got in behind the Amherst net. And all the way around the other side as they tie up Zigomanis, able to flip it to the point, but it's kept in. A long shot from there, knocked down and blocked out to center ice and a race for it. This will be in on goal out of his net. Pickard shoots to the side. Cleared along, right back in on goal. One hopper into the left pad of Pickard. And it's now out over the line to center ice. On the near wing, swept into the Rochester zone by Muirs. Chased back by McKenzie for the Evans. Clears it along the side boards. It's in the skates of Veroni, but pulled out now by Olver and dumped in behind the Amherst net. Getting pass on in front, and that one is through. And all the way back into the Lake Erie zone. Chased down in the corner by Wyman. He'll turn forward. Out the right wing, then is hit as the puck is put to the Rochester blue line. Knocked down with a hand, so the whistle will stop play. And we'll have a center ice face-off.
Well, that goal came at 3:07 in the third period, and it could have been a better time, but there's lots of hockey left here, and both coaches, both teams realize it, that we've seen numerous goals scored, 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and in order to tie that one up, we need 2 more this period.
That's Freddie Waugh in for the face-off, but it's taken from the draw by the Monster. Shot around behind the Amherst net. Back is Bagnall, chips it around the left wing side. As the Amherst trying to dig it out. Schaller in and shot the other way and chased down by Tuzolino in the far corner. Tuzolino, of course, on a PTO and a Buffalo native, 7th-year pro. This is his 6th game on this PTO. Played very well, actually.
Yeah, he has PTO for a professional tryout as he's here basically on loan, and they have so many games to make a decision on him.
Cleared along the boards out to center ice. Chased after deep in the zone. Schaller will get to it. On him is Beaupre. Centering pass in front, but does tip the side by Pickard. And off the wing, played by Wyman, and down in the Rochester zone, back toward the Amherst, and that'll be an icing call. So it'll bring the face-off all the way down in the Lake Erie zone to our left here in the third period.
Lake Erie trying to make a change there, and those players have to go back to the bench that came on, and the tired ones have to go back out onto the ice, so the face-off come back. Rochester making a change on this one.
Again, a packed house here at Frontier Field for the Frozen Frontier. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 11,000.
I said 11,000 plus. Standing room only here tonight.
That's on the sideboard. Centered in on goal, but that kicked through and out the other side. Up to the corner. In behind the net. After it on the backboard's a spin around shot, but up over top. Comes down on the near wing again after it, the Amherst. Tied up in the sideboards, brought away, and it's to the top of the slot, kept in. A backhander in, but wide. Ellis will chase after to the corner, cycles it back in the corner boards, and that one spun behind the net to the other side. Off the stick of Armia. And his Gillies looking to dig it loose. Watching on is Ellis. Behind the net. Now Ellis hit by Agazino. And the puck is still in skates. Beaupre for the Monsters watching on also gives Ellis a little bit of a shove. Armia tied up, and now Ellis turns away with the puck. Tried to get it back at the point, but that's intercepted, pulled away by Lurg. Out to center ice. Up in the air, coming down the Rochester zone, back for go. The Amherst getting to it as Gauthier to do. And behind his net. Still looking it over. Out the left side, pass ahead to center ice. All the way down in the zone, but blocked away. And on the return comes Lake Erie. Dumped in the Rochester zone. This being between these two teams, the 4th of 10 meetings this year between the two. And they still got, after this one, 5 more games to go, and all of those games will be played in Lake Erie. Or this is the 4th, the next one is 5. They got 1 more here, and then they play the next 5 in Cleveland. So it's a 4-3 lead. The Amherst leading for the first time since way back in the first period. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. At the point area, still kept in as the Monsters on the power play for another 22 seconds. That's in the slot, and the shot side of the net, feed across. Out the other side again, back of the left point, kept in. Off on the right side, taken by Lurg. Out top, once more time to Lurg, and a one-timer missed the net. Comes down the eye and wide. Over will bang it around behind the net. Comes all the way out on the near wing, back at the right point. As Lurg is bumped away by Tardif, who gets a hold of the puck and is able to clear it. Penalty is expired. Here come the Monsters right back in. Shot in. Now a high one knocked down. And the loose puck spurts wide, goes down behind the net. It's heating up a little bit now as a center on the boards, and that's through. And out of the zone, back behind the play. We got a scrap going on in the corner. At least it looked like it, but they get up and skate away. Now brought forward on the right wing, ball play to the Rochester blue line, able to shovel the backhander in deep in the corner. Now behind the net as it crashed to the backboards. Bagnall with a hit. On the wing and dumped in behind again. Still in behind the Amherst, netted off in the corner, spun along the boards of the point area, but knocked down, still kept in. Bagnall helping out, but down carried behind the net. As they wipe out of the backboards, it comes down the near corner. And in skates and on the backboards, in behind and helping out, but taken away out the far side, shallow reaching in, but that's spun around by Ellis, or by Smith rather, behind the net, comes out in front and blocked in behind again by Hackett. At the far point, well, the Monsters are really applying pressure now. They got the Hammers all heading up at their own end of the rink here. That's in the corner boards. They bang the backboards, and finally the whistle stops play as we have a stoppage here and a little bit of discussion going on the side of the net, but very aggressive in the forecheck by the Lake Erie Monsters, tying up the Amherst in their own end. Rochester holding on right now to a slim one-goal lead, 4-3. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network.
Looking.
Amherst leading by one, fortunately, because of tonight's big save of the game, which is brought to you by Wright Wisner and Molson Canadian, official partners of the Rochester Americans.
Trevor Cheek coming down the left side, fakes it, takes the shot, big save by Matt Hackett to keep his team up by one. That could have been a tiebreaker right there.
Set for the face-off, coming to Hackett's left. As he gets settled in, the puck wasn't dropped. We'll wait and try and do it all over again. Now finally his drop, pulled back at the point and kept in. Shot wide by Clark, ends up along the boards. Still stuck in the Rochester zone. We're down to 7:35 to go in the third. Amherst had led 1-0 and then gave up 3 unanswered goals. So the Monsters leading 3-1, but the Amherst coming back with the next 3 of their own have regained the lead. That turned out to center ice. Right back to the Rochester zone. The Amherst after it. Ruedel rings it around to the right wing side. Over blocked as they pinched down from the point and kept in by the Monsters. On the sideboards, taken away, spun ahead. Then this one is out over the line finally to center ice. Dropped right back in again, but that's out of play. So the whistle will stop play. And we'll have a face-off coming up with 7:05 to go in the third period.
Well, if you look at the way these two games have taken over, you know, Rochester scored in the first half of the first period. Then Lake Erie scored in the second half, both their goals. And then in the second period, Lake Erie scored in the first half, and then Rochester scored the last 2 in the last half. So Rochester scored in the first half of this period. Let's hope it doesn't repeat.
Turned behind the net, spun around the boards, and out to center ice by Tam. The Amherst chasing back for it. Jammed along the wall again, out of the zone. That's turned the other way down the Lake Erie zone, and back for it go the Monsters. Down behind the net, Hunwick. She's banged up against the backboards, but the puck comes around, and the point long shot in, knocked down by Pickard. Down for the left point. Bagnall with a shot, gets it right back. Trying to throw it out in front. Now a feed through at the left point. It's shot in, but wide. Missed the short side. Behind the net, cleared around to the right point. Amherst get to it to keep it in, but and it's tipped away out of the zone. So the Amherst back for it. As on the left wing side, got away, turning back after it. Larson trying to get loose as he's wrapped up in the sideboards, and the point kept in. Carey with a shot, put it up over top of the Amherst net. Now 6:13 to go. Feed from behind the net, blocked away in the corner. And a pass along the sideboard. Veroni, that's Armia spins into the point, but not out. Turnaround shot, knocked down, rebound. Push wide, comes down behind the net. Then around in front again, and a big scramble with the puck is back at the point and kept in. On the sideboards. Up with it, the Monsters. A shot high over top of the net. Comes down behind. After it goes Smith. Colin Smith pulls it on the front. Back to her side shot in. That's booted away. Comes out the near wing, and Armia can't clear. Still stuck in the zone, and now it's back in the blue line, but still kept in. Monsters able to keep it tied up in the Rochester zone. Looking to dig it loose along the near side, but in the corners they still spin around. That's in skates in the sideboards, as Larson able to draw it back behind the net, but taken away. Now cleared by Tuzolino to the far point, but again kept in by Lake Erie. Off on the right side, Smith will ring it around behind the Amherst net. Out on the backboards, in the other corner is played away, and over the line and down ice. Back for it go the Monsters. They carry the puck at their own blue line. Dropped off in the zone. Both play will spin it ahead to the Rochester blue line. Turned in on the wing, but left at the blue line. Now shot along the side boards. The Hammers up with it. Flip one high in the air, and it comes out at center ice. Monsters back in their own zone. Quick pass on the right side again. That shot in, and the Hammers chasing it down the corner. Ruedel is back. As they'll clear it along the boards, and that's over the line to center ice. But right now, Rick, you'd have to say the Hammers are on their heels right here.
They definitely are. They're playing too much time in their own zone as they're working around, keeping the puck around the perimeter. But still, they've got to get it out of their zone, and that means better board work when that puck comes around, especially this left wing side, the side we're not seeing along the boards. It's come around this side several times that just hasn't gotten out.
So Ruedel in the penalty box, and that's going to give the Monsters an opportunity with a man advantage coming up in just a few seconds here. As the Rochester penalty about to expire again, we're now under a minute, 55 seconds remaining in regulation.
Now Rochester's got to make sure on this, anything that puck comes around, it's got to get out over that blue line, make them re-enter the zone. But if it only goes out over the blue line, it's tough to get them going that way.
And notice the head coach for Lake Erie also without a hat on, Dean Chenault.
I didn't notice him. I was looking out here to see what's going on, but they both teams mapping out what they want to do, and you can see they're down at the one end talking to their assistant coach, who's telling them to make sure what to do. It's really crucial right now with the 10 seconds. They're probably going to pull the goaltender as well, which they have. So they're going to start out 5-on-4 and then go to 6-on-4 as he comes out of the box. And that's in 10 seconds away with 54.9 seconds remaining.
Zegamanis in for the faceoff against Agazino. That goes to the corner. Run out of the sideboards, but not out. Still kept in. Then a pass off on the right wing side is dumped to the corner. But the whistle to stop play where it was knocked down with a high stick, so we'll have a face-off, and that should come out of the zone, right?
Face-off will come outside the blue line. In fact, I thought they might have taken it all the way down because of the penalty. They're having a discussion about it right now.
Well, the penalty has expired against Lake Erie, so they are on the power play now.
I thought that would bring it all the way down when they did it, so but they're having that discussion at center ice, decide where it's supposed to go. And the referee has indicated it's going to be outside the Rochester blue line. 44.6 seconds. Lake Erie on the power play here. This is their 6th power play. Is that what you've got?
I've got it, number 7.
7. That's their 7th.
Chad Cassidy and players watching on as the face-off is crucial. 45 seconds to go.
That whole Rochester bench is standing. Not one guy is sitting down.
And the puck is dropped, taken from the draw by the Monsters. On the left wing side, entering the zone, stopped to the sideboards. That'll be chipped away and down ice. Once again, the advantage of being short-handed is that they can ice the puck, and there's no icing. Brought away by the Monsters on the attack, 25 seconds. Hackett stops it behind his net, shoots it off the glass. That coming down in the corner. As they get all jammed up along the wall, it's back at the point and kept in. On the right wing side, over dropping it down, feet in goal, but blocked away. Comes down the sideboard, 10 seconds. Out top, another shot, up in the air. Oh, it almost was batted out of midair, goes wide. Coming down the corner, 3 seconds, out in front, that goes shot. They shoot and they score. The clock, however, says 0. Is this going to be a counting goal or not? The clock says 0.
We're going to have to see if this is going to count because the clock is ticked down to 0. And the referees are having a conversation. They'll go to the penalty box and review this.
Lake Erie figuring that they have scored. The clock says 0. The question is, do they score with 1 second to go or not?
Now, as we're looking at it here, you'll see the scramble play right out in front. And I'm not sure who that was. Had it on his stick and lost it. And they scooped it in the back door. You can see it come out front. There it is right there. And in the net, but we don't have the ability to see the clock at the same time, so they're calling it a goal.
The red light did go on. And so the Monsters have scored right here at the very end of this period.
That's another power play goal. 3 power play goals for Lake Erie this game. Again, last game they scored 1 for 3, and tonight on 7 opportunities they've got 3 power play goals.
And they put a 1/10 of a second back on the clock for the face-off coming up at center ice. So now each team is guaranteed a point, but that's got to be just a huge disappointment right there for Rochester.
That was a big disappointment right there. As they thought they had it, especially when that puck came out front, and whoever it was tried to handle the puck and not just push it to the corner. And it ended up going right on the stick, and Hunwick will get credit for that goal, his second goal of the season, or of this night, his 5th of the season. And he ties it up here with 0.1 second remaining in regulation. We're going to go to overtime here, folks.
Well, this packed house is going to see a little more hockey than they thought they were going to just a few seconds ago. So they'll drop the puck at center ice, and we'll have the overtime period coming up. As the fans are showing their displeasure with that call, but what can you do as the puck is dropped, horn sounds, and coming up is overtime. And the Amerks and the Lake Erie Monsters, it'll be the second time that they've gone past regulation this year. In the first meeting of the year between the two teams, it was Lake Erie coming away with a shootout victory. That was the game here in Rochester back on November the 11th, so it's the second time that they've gone past regulation between these two teams. And again, you know, if the Amerks are their daubers down, are they going to be able to pick it up here and get back in this game?
Well, I know they'd be pretty upset over it, but in that third period, it was Gillies open the scoring for Rochester at 3:07. His second goal of the season from Ellis and Armia. As you can see it here coming through, it's Gillies hits the skate in front. He walks in, puts it up in the short side, and then 1959 scramble play out in front on the power play. Hunwick drops down from the point. He puts it in the back door, and he ties it up. I don't have the assist on that one yet. Actually, it looks like it's going to be Oliver and Agazzino. Agazzino's been a real pain in the side here for Rochester. He's had 3 assists here tonight, as he definitely has, and Hunwick definitely too, getting his 5th goal of the season, and that was the tire at 19:59.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's Lurg and Agazzino with the assists. Either 10 or 20, I'm not sure which it is.
Now then, I'm looking at our score sheet. They're looking at Oliver.
We're getting it from the scorer here. Well, it doesn't make any difference. It's all tied it up and headed now to overtime. The Rochester in overtime games have 2 games decided in overtime this year, both losses. Well, the Monsters have gone 3 times past overtime into the shootout, so they have not had a game decided in overtime this year.
Well, we talked about special teams, and 3 power play goals and 1 4-on-4 goal. Half the goals here were basically in special teams. Both teams starting with 4 skaters aside.
Set to go now for the face-off to open overtime. Amherst continue to shoot to the net to our left. As Porter in for the face-off, puck is dropped back in the zone, taken by Beaupre. He'll then turn it off the boards out to center ice. Amherst right now have a 4-game home winning string on the line. Well, the Lake Erie Monsters on the road have lost the last 3. Turned off on the far boards, stepping up the Amherst. Ruiz will stand on it, gets it back again. He'll then play it off to Crawford, and now in over the line to feed off to Veroni. On the right wing boards, kept in the zone. Pass out, hits a leg, and now bounces out to center ice. Shot the rest of the way down, turning back toward Ruido as he's bumped there with Muirs. They go in behind the Amherst net, and Ruido comes away with the puck, pins back with it. Brings it around on the other side. It's over the line out to center ice. Taken back by Muirs, able to shovel it in behind the Amherst net. Rochester back for the puck, turned off on the near side to Bagno as he gets pinned up against the wall. That's blocked away over the line to center ice. Back for it, go the Monsters. Cleared along the wall by Hunwick down to the Rochester blue line and dumped in. The Amherst turning back for it, getting hold of it is Bagno. Leaves it in the corner, cycles it back to Ruido, and he'll turn it forward out to center ice. Up the left wing, in over the line. Amherst have Armia with a shot blocked away. The rebound, a big one, but the Amherst could get to it, and that's all the way out over the line to center ice. Here come the Monsters, spin around move by Clark. To the Rochester blue line, able to slip it in, but the Amherst back for it. Down behind his net, Gauthier Duke. 3.5 to go in overtime. From behind the net, long feed forward, all the way through and down ice, and this will be called on an icing. Taking the face-off back in the Amherst zone as Tardif, it looked like he was going to win the race for the puck.
That's what I was just wondering. I was looking at you here like if Tardif was going to be the head guy, I thought the icing was waved off, but it wasn't. It was brought back all the way to the Rochester zone. Rochester unable to make changes as they have to stay out there for this. Lake Erie making their changes, putting fresh troops out. 3:25 remaining in the overtime. It's all tied up at 4.
Emmerichs have Tardif and Veroni up front. Crawford, McKenzie back. McKenzie able to slip it behind the net. That off in the left wing corner. Crawford feeds forward, but dropped back once again in the corner and slipped around behind to the other side for McKenzie. Long pass forward, but not out of the zone. The Emmerichs net will bring it away and out to center ice. Off the right wing, continuing forward in over the blue line. Weaving away on top, feed forward, but blocked away on the backboards and in the corner. Tardif after it. Turns in behind. Lays it there in the backboards. Veroni spins it around. And it's played through. And now at center ice, here come the Monsters again. Cleared along the near side. Stopping in the sideboards is Lurg as he gets tied up and moving in. Crawford reaching for the puck and is able to send it behind his net for McKenzie. Brought away by the Emmerichs. Edman out of the reach of Gillies all the way down. And Gillies will take it away. In the corner, trying to bring it out in front. He's wiped out. The net is pushed off the pins. And the whistle stops play. It'll face off coming up with now just 2.5 minutes to go in overtime.
Now, Gillies thought to surprise himself because he pinched the boards off. Lake Erie player tried to throw the puck back up the boards, and he gets it himself. You can see him pushing it through. Getting pressure on, squeezes the board, hits a stick there, and kicks it up to it, but he's down. He lost real estate by kicking it up to his stick, but he had to, and Hunwick just takes him out to the net, and he winds up striding into it, dislodging the net, and the whistles will go, and the face-off stays to the left of Calvin Pickard.
And as he went down, Gillies' stick came up and clipped Hunwick across the nose. Looked like he might have gotten cut there. Face-off in the Lake Erie zone off in the corner. Turned off the backboards, it'll be brought away. Up ice, here come the Monsters. Wide to the right side. Remember now, ordinarily by this time they would have cleaned the ice. It would have been starting, but we've gotten the extra couple of minutes here without an ice clean. Long shot in, that off the stick of Hackett coming down the corner. Ruedel draws it behind his net for Gauthier to do. Turns away out the near side, brings it forward up the right wing. Head to center ice at the red line. Slips it in, but that's knocked down and taken away by Lake Erie. Out to center ice. As going down, Ruedel gets back up in time. They're down the zone and back for it. Here comes Lake Erie again. Up the right wing and entering the Emmerichs zone. And rolls to the corner. Ruedel back. Trying to get away. Is this pulled out of the sideboards and back in the point area. Still kept in. That's stolen away, but now out over the line. The Emmerichs have it. Turning back for it in his own blue line. It's carried forward by Veroni. Turns up the left wing. In over the line. Takes a long shot. Off the stick of Pickard coming down the corner. Reaching in for it. Tardif and behind it. A nifty stick handling. Trying to pull it out in front. They poke at the puck. And it's loose in front and carried away. Off ice. Lurg working wide on the left. A minute 20 to go in overtime. Now behind the net comes out of the near wing. Back at the point. And dumped in the backboards once again. In the corner. Cycled off in the corner boards. Watching on. There's Crawford. There's back on top. And the shot. He goes by. Comes down the corner. Bagnall after it.
1 minute, Darcy.
As he ties up in the corner. We're down to a minute to go in the period. And brought away out of the corner by Porter. Works his way up ice. Porter on the right wing side. In the zone along the board. Take advantage. Feeding front across the goal mouth. And unable to reach it is Porter. At the point area. It's carried ahead by Lake Erie over the line to center ice. Monsters on the attack. Dumped in on the left wing side and rolls to the corner. He's intercepted by Crawford. Knocks it down, but the Monsters get to it again. Spinning in the corner is Ellis trying to get away. Smith makes that rather, and around the near side, Smith still turning in the corner. Looking to get away from Ruedel. Finally goes down, and the puck tipped to the point, but not out. It's shot behind the Emmerichs net. Back goes Crawford. Now behind his net has it. Reversing it in behind again. As he gets wiped out, and it's carried away by the Emmerichs. Pass ahead. Zigomanis turns it off in over the line. Veroni reaching back for the puck. Stick handling's all by himself. That's Lucen on the far side. Poked that in the air, and it comes out over the line to center ice, or actually ends up and out of play. We're down to just now 2 seconds to go in overtime as we'll be getting ready. It looks like to head for the shootout.
I definitely think that's where we're heading to the shootout. They've got the Zambonis ready, and you can see the smoke coming out of them. As they're warming them up and getting ready to clean this ice with 1.8 seconds left on the clock. The face-off outside the blue line. I doubt we're going to see a goal here, but you never know.
Now the puck is dropped, and this will draw the shootout as the horn sounds. So we never thought for a while we were going to be here, but we've gone through overtime, heading to the shootout tonight. And through overtime, this game is all even up at 4 apiece. As once again, Rick just mentioned that the Zambonis will be coming out. They'll be clearing the ice, and we'll be going into the shootout for the Amerks. They've had a couple of games decided in the shootout, while the Lake Erie Monsters have had 3 decided in the shootout. As Coach Cassidy will select his players, as will Coach Senout, for who's going to be taking the shots. Even up at 4, this is the Amerks Broadcast Network.
Eyes.
Well, we do know that each team is going to come up with at least 1 point here tonight. As this game goes to the shootout, the big question now is which team comes up with the second point, and every point is so important in this division.
Well, you know, the way they clean the ice here, they just do a spot down the middle. Some of these guys like to go way out wide and come in. I don't think you're going to see that because they run the risk of snow plowing the puck out there, and that's what's going to make it bobble and bounce off the stick. So as they redo some repairs to the net in the Rochester end, as we said, we had this issue before with the net coming off its moorings a lot, and that's the end where the Zamboni enters and exits. So there's a little more care taken there as Matt Hackett cleans up his crease a little bit. As we get ready, Lake Erie will be shooting first.
That's just a dry scrape of the ice, right? They don't put water down, do they?
I do believe it's just a dry scrape because they can't wait for it to for the water to dry. But you know, goaltenders like the snow because what it does is it slows them down. They go across from one side to the other on their pads coming across. So they'll slide right out of the net. So they like to rough it up a little bit, get a little snow in there a little bit. Not too much, but just enough.
Here comes the first shooter. This is over. He's 0 for 2 in the season. A left-handed shot working right up the slot, moving in, backhander, and he is stopped. As Hackett might have got the glove on that one.
Coming out, I can't see who that is coming out. Coming in, you can see him. He tries to deke or go around, goes to the backhand, but Hackett comes over the left and deflects it with the arm.
It'll be Rochester shooting next. Have you picked up that number yet?
I think it's Tardif, isn't it?
Looks like Tardif. Gary's in wide on the left side, moving in, backhander, but that misses.
Yeah, Tardif trying, he goes to the backhand. He gets denied as well. You can see him coming in. The right shot comes in. Looking as gets closer as he tries to take it to the side and brings it through. Actually tried to go 5-hole and gets poke checked.
Smith is next up. Right-handed shot moving in, slows it up, puts on the brake, shoots, and scores.
Smith comes in and he almost comes to a complete stop, which you cannot do. He just keeps coasting gradually towards the net. You'll see him come here as he comes in with a little bit of speed. Now all of a sudden the puck starts bobbling. He stops, holds it, gets it under control, and then goes bottom corner.
As we get set, the next Rochester shooter moving in on goal. Tried to tuck it in. No, that was stopped. Well, I never did see who that was. Did you? Yeah, that's Armia.
Armia comes in, tries to make a nice little move there, but he gets denied, tries to come back against the grain. Throw goes one way, tries to throw it in short side, almost goes under the pad, but Prickard gets it down.
Looks like we have Lurg up next. The shooter moves in again. He puts on the brakes, moving his stick handling back and forth. And the puck is, no, that's wide.
I thought the referee pointed it toward the net.
Did he say it was a goal?
The referee on the one side pointed towards the goal. He comes in, he stops. This seems to be the thing to do here. Stops, stick handle, and he goes around. And he puts it in.
Yeah, he did score. So now it's 2-0. And the Amerks have the next shooter, and this will be Veroni. As he brings it forward, Veroni has to pretty much score here. Moves in, stick handle, shoots.
He gets denied, tries to take the shot. As, again, watching to see what happens here. Comes in all alone. Veroni comes in, the left shot, looking head up. Tries to find something, tries to make a move, hits that right toe.
So Mures is the next shooter, and he can put it away here. Right-handed shoot, moving in. John, that's a pad save.
Mures gets denied. He takes the shot. Very similar to what Veroni did here, but end zone coming in.
Amerks have to score now as Lake Erie leading the shootout 2-0.
Now, that puck bobbled just a little bit on him, and coming up for this shot will be Zigomanis.
Zigomanis, a right-handed shooter, as the Amerks have to score the next two. Zigomanis in, stops, throws up, puts the brakes on, shoots, and scores.
Zigomanis pulls a little Lake Erie as he stops out in front and kind of freezes Prickard, and he ends up putting it on the top side there to the right shot comes in. You see him hit the brake, stop, now looking, goes up off the arm and in.
So now the Monsters with a chance to win it as it's brought forward by Cheek. Left-handed shot, missed the net. And so now the pressure is on as the Emmericks have to score on this one.
Now Cheek comes in, the left shot, tries to fake it, but goes off the right side of Hackett into the corner. And we've got, is it Crawford?
Larson. He's the next shooter moving in, shoots, scores! It's all tied up.
Larson ties this up. He picks up the foot, takes the shot, and finds the back of the net coming in. You can see him here. There goes the foot, and there goes the shot. And you can tell right now that Pickard wasn't too happy not making that save. It's all tied up with 2 apiece. As now in there, it will be Agazino.
He's been the thorn in the side all night long. Working wide on the right side, shoots, and missed the net. So the Emmericks with an opportunity here. As it's all even up.
Agazino coming in the left shot. You can see here, nice camera angle. Tries to go there. The left pad kicked out by Hackett. Nice save.
Picking up the shooter, it's Ellis. Ellis, who scored the first goal of the night, can finish it. Brings it in, shoots. Is it in?
Yes,
it is. He scores. The shootout victory for Matt Ellis puts it away as the Emmericks come back from behind and end up winning this game in the shootout.